At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Far more women in St. Kitts and Nevis are living with diabetes than men, so disclosed State Minister of Health Wendy Phipps during a session of the National Assembly on Tuesday.
Now, we find it in the Ministry of Health rather timely that the International Federation for Diabetes would take into consideration the impact this year on diabetes as it relates to women's health. Globally, the estimate is telling us that over 200 million females are living with diabetes. But let's bring it home closer to us here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are at our 17 health centers. We are now recording, based on our diabetic registers, that there are 1,313 diabetics within our public health system. More concentrated is the statistic when you look at it in the context of 934 of those 1,313 persons being females and 379 being males.
Ms. Phipps said there are over 1,300 people in the Federation with diabetes, but there could be more people in the Federation with the disease, considering that a large portion of the population is still not doing basic medical checks on a regular basis.
Moreover, the data is also showing us that of that figure, 603 female diabetics are in St. Kitts and 230 males. On our sister island of Nevis, there are 331 female diabetics and 149 males. In essence, what this does is to paint a clear picture that far more women in our federation are now having to live with diabetes than men, since of the total registered number of diabetics in our public health system, some 71.1% of them are women. And this is of major concern for the Ministry of Health, by extension, the federal government, when you take into account that, by extension, 50% of our households are headed by single females, especially single mothers. And it is such that it is forcing us to consider that at some point, diabetes is going to affect us negatively as it relates to families and women's participation in the world of work.
The minister commended the St. Kitts and Nevis Diabetes Foundation for its work in bringing awareness to the public on diabetes.
The Ministry of Health congratulates the St. Kitts Diabetes Association in what they continue to do every year in terms of health promotion and education. And this year in particular, there's no exception in terms of their scheduled activities, which began on Sunday with the service at St. George's Anglican Church. Today, they are continuing with school talks in all of the secondary schools. And then, of course, on Thursday, there's a diabetes screening at the William Connor Primary School. On Friday, we will conduct public screenings, health screenings at the Independence Square, jointly with the Ministry of Health and representatives of the Diabetes Association. And then on Saturday, there is the usual walk for diabetes beginning at 5:30 a.m. at the War Memorial. And I think that walk goes as far as the Central Bank and then back to the War Memorial.
Henny Kowatki Sporto, SKN Newsline.